Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Cheryl. Today we're going to be working on that spine health. Let's release our backs. Let's just enjoy building some strength in our legs and just enjoy the flow. All right, focusing on alignment for our spine health. Let's take a moment and look down at our feet. Traditional method is having our feet together. If you want that little bit of space in your body, separate them, but make sure that your feet are perfectly straight. Relax your lower back. Let's reach our fingers down towards the earth, letting our shoulders hang down. Lift through the crown of your head. And I invite you to close your eyes, taking a moment to focus in on your breath, feeling the lungs expand and contract with each breath. Feel your belly soften as you inhale, and the navel draws towards the spine as you exhale. Maybe you take a moment and you shift that weight forward and back or side to side, and you just start feeling that connection to your feet and how the weight shifting changes the hips and then the spine. And then we center that weight from side to side, front to back. We soften through our knees that little bit, including that great alignment throughout our entire body to encourage healing. Inhaling, we'll reach those arms up overhead. And then exhale, we'll just float down. Just relax through the arms. Inhaling, we'll reach up and lengthen through the whole body. Exhale, float down. We'll do one more. Just really relax down. Just getting that movement going, finding length through the front and the back. Lift and lower. All right, this time when we inhale and lift up, we're just going to lift a little bit, not too far. And then we're going to take our left hand to our right wrist, and we're going to extend through the side of your body, pressing nice and firmly into the feet. Nice stretch through the ribs. And then come back. Center out, reaching the arms, and then right wrist to left, right hand to left wrist. Again, length through that side body. One more breath, and then release. Back to center, reach up nice and tall, and then on an exhale, fold forward, bend into the knees. And let your back soften. Let your head hang down. Release the arms. And maybe you shimmy the ribs side to side, finding a little bit more length through the lower back. We'll start from here by straightening our legs and looking out. Inhale up. Exhale all the way up. Roll the shoulders back. Okay, from here, let's take the arms out in front. Bring the elbows together. Left arm underneath. We'll bend the elbows to bring the forearms together. You can complete that twist with the palms if you'd like. If you want, you can shift your weight to the left leg, and then slowly take that right leg across, getting a nice twist in the lower body, or even sinking down to balance on one leg. But remember, that's not necessary. We're focusing on lifting our fingers and elbows up and pressing our shoulders down. 2 more breaths. And then we'll release. Release the arms, reach the fingertips out to the side, unwrap the legs, lace the fingers behind the back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then dropping the chin towards the chest. And then release. Release the arms, Roll them back, let them find neutral, and then we'll lift them up and we'll do the other side. So right arm underneath, elbows together first, bend so the fingertips go to the sky, and then completing that twist with the palms together. Shifting right if you'd like, taking that left leg across. Lift and lengthen through the fingers, and then press your shoulders down. Feeling a beautiful stretch through the upper back here. Two more breaths. Maybe lift one more time and then release. Unwrap the arms, release the legs, reach behind you again, lacing those fingers. Now this time you can just drop the chin towards the chest, or if you want that extra little bit, you can fold forward and then let those arms hang down. It's going to be up to you. Remember, choose what feels good for your body, okay? So if you're folding forward, relax those arms down, and then everyone releases and will come up from that fold. Roll the shoulders back, release the arms down. Take a few breaths here. So how do we already feel different through the upper body? All right, from here, we're going to step a little bit wider, about double wide. We're going to turn our toes in towards the center a little bit. Bringing the hands to the hips, we're going to do one forward fold. So we want to focus on this rotation in our hips. Lift through your chest and then fold from the hips. And then after you hit that point, we're about halfway, we'll relax the arms. Let the head hang down. And maybe we bend into the knees a little bit to relax our lower back. Or we just try to rotate those hips a little bit more towards the sky. Let our torso fold a little bit more towards the earth. Getting in a nice stretch through the back of the legs. Really focus on letting your torso hang down. And if you'd like, now walk your hands to one side, finding a stretch through the ribs. And then back to center and across to the other side. And then back to center. And we're going to do two parts in coming up. So we're going to bring our hands towards our hips, squeezing our core, looking up and out. And then all the way up, squeeze the glutes and use the abs. Nice work. All right, we're going to do a little warrior today. Remember, your warrior stance can look like this, okay? We want our front foot straight and our back foot is 45 degrees from that. Knees over the ankle, okay? This is a great stance right here, right now. I want you to feel comfortable wherever you are. You could even do it like this. As long as you have that knee over the ankle, one foot's 45 and front foot is straight, you're good to go. Okay, now focus in on your hips. Remember, we want our hips open, okay? This is going to help with that back foot and knee alignment. As soon as your hips turn towards the front too much, that knee is turned in away from your foot direction and the weight is spilling onto the arch. Remember, in our warrior stance, we want to feel strong in both of our legs, pushing out evenly on the feet, okay? Now, from here, we're going to do just warrior two today. We're not going to turn from our torso. We're going to relax our back today. So we're going to turn our torso towards the side. Make sure that that knee stays in line. So don't let the front knee spill in now towards the center. And then reach those arms out long. I want you to feel like you're in the center of your body. So looking forward first, reach out and find length through the upper back here. And then if you'd like, turn and look down the front arm. Now, if you feel any tension in the shoulders, turn your palms towards the sky. You can still reach out through the fingers, but typically this will allow you to relax your shoulders a little bit more. So I really want you to think about reaching with the fingers here. Reach out both directions. Feel strong. Push out of your legs. Nice and heavy through the lower body and light through those arms. Reach, reach, reach. Two more breaths. feeling those legs engage because we're pushing out. We're feeling that strength and energy. And then we're going to release the arms down. But then we're going to take a big inhale and reach up. Reach through the fingers and then relax down. Okay, let's straighten the legs. And we're going to turn slowly, just slow transitions today. Now again, turning to this side. Front foot is straight, back foot's 45 degrees. No matter the length of your stance, hips are going to be open and we'll extend our arms out, okay? So I want you to find that lower position that feels best for you. Knee over ankle, push, center out your hips. So a lot of the times here, I'll see this, okay? We want to think sitting up, okay? Nice and level this way. And now reach through the upper body. Reach through the fingers. Check in on your front knee. Don't let it turn in. Have that weight centered. Feel the whole foot connected to the ground. And then if you'd like, turn and look over the shoulder. But focus on reaching. Even if you turn those palms to the sky, reach through the fingers. Find an opening through the upper back. Okay. 2 more breaths here. Finding that kind of strength. Lightness through the arms, opening through the back, and then release. Nice work. Okay, inhale, lift. Lift, lift, lift through, and then release. We're going to turn our feet, and we're going to bring them on one line again, turning those toes in. Noticing the difference we feel in our hips and our back already. Toes turn in, lift and lengthen on an inhale. And then fold on an exhale. Float everything down. Release head, neck, and shoulders. Let everything hang. Really opening through the back here. So maybe you shimmy and you think about kind of moving those ribs side to side. Creating a little bit more length in the upper back and middle back areas. And you can roll up slowly, or you can do those 2 parts again. Hands on the hips, flat back, and then all the way up. Roll those shoulders back. We're going to bring our feet the opposite direction for 1 moment. We're going to take a few breaths. Remember, this is kind of our peak of class, building that strength. Feet turned out. Maybe you bring them a little bit closer, and we're going to sink wherever is comfortable for you. So that could be this little bit. Knees are in line, okay? You can sink down more if you'd like, okay? Remember, you don't have to, okay? The thing is building strength in this inner thigh area, opening up through the hips, and then reach the arms out. We're going to do 3 deep, deep breaths here, okay? So focusing in on that alignment here. 1 more breath. And then release. Inhale up. And then just let those arms hang down. Beautiful work here. Okay, let's come down to our mats. Nice and slow. If you want that extra bit of padding, feel free to take a blanket underneath the knees. We're going to take a moment and reach those palms out first. So knees are under the hips. And instead of going right into tabletop or child's pose, we're going to reach our arms out a little bit, relaxing the tops of our feet. And we're going to push our hips back and find length through the spine. So reaching through the upper back. Relax the head down. Find length through the spine here. Take 1 more breath with this big reach from the hips through the upper back. And now relax the hips down, relax the arms, and then rest the head on the mat or your palms or your fists. Whatever feels good to you.
Take this time to really feel your hips sink down. Feel that connection to your breath. If you'd like, you can even bring the arms around the side of your legs so the palms end up by your feet with the palms facing the sky. But wherever you are, we want to fully relax for a moment. And then we'll come up nice and slow onto the hands and knees. Realign your position so that we have the hips and knees together and the wrists under the shoulders. We're going to move in a way that feels good for you. So be that cat and cow, looking up on the inhale, and then chin to chest, navel to spine on the exhale. Or coming back to neutral, tilting the hips from side to side. It's really going to be up to you. Or you can circle. Hips to heels and around. And then the other direction. So really just taking that time to feel that connection to your back and your spine. Maybe you even hold that cat variation with the chin to the chest. And you really hunch and round the back and you find that opening through the upper back and shoulders. And then you release. But we'll take 2 more breaths, moving in whatever way feels good. And then we'll release. All right, we're going to reach that right arm up towards the sky. So we're going to kind of keep our weight stable, and then we're going to reach. See if you can open up through the chest area, and then come back down. And then again, lift and lengthen, open through the chest, and then down. And we're going to do one more. We're going to lift and lengthen, but this time we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to come through, palm facing the sky. We're going to shift. We're going to bend into our left arm so that we can come down on our right shoulder and the right side of our temple. You might need a blanket to put underneath. And we're going to extend that left arm out, or relax down on the forearm, or take the arm around the back to your thigh. Wherever we are, we want to think about shifting our weight in our hips to the right side so that we're feeling even. Feeling that weight even in our knees from left to right. Feeling a nice stretch around the shoulders, a nice opening through our back. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to bring our left hand back towards our head so we can press up. And we're going to do that reaching out again. So coming up, we're going to reach our palms out. And then we're going to push out of those palms and shift our hips back as far as we can, finding length through our spine. And then we'll release and we'll come back to that tabletop position. Checking wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And then this time, left arm extends. And we come down. Just working on that rotation, looking up maybe, or neutral, and then release. And then on the third one, we'll thread that needle looking up. And then coming through, palm to the sky. Reaching out, bend into your right arm. Relax down on the shoulder, the side of your temple. And then that right arm extends out. You can relax it back down onto that forearm or take it around the back so that the hand reaches towards the left thigh. Wherever you are, focus on bringing your hips to the left a little bit so that we're even from side to side. This is going to give you a little bit more stretch around the shoulder area. Take a few more breaths here. And then again, this time we'll bring the right hand towards our head. We'll slowly push up. We'll reach those arms out. Push the hips back so we have that length in our spine for one nice big breath. And then we'll relax down. Relax the back, resting the head on the mat or block or your fists. And then slowly coming up. Onto the hands and knees again. Coming into our pigeon pose, we're going to reach our palms out a little bit. Right hand to right wrist. Curl back the left toe so you can push your foot and slide it back a little bit, gaining a little bit more length, and then relax the foot down. You can keep your heel under your hip or shimmy your foot towards the center. And again, you have options here. You can stay holding. You could rock from side to side if that feels good, or you can extend down to the mat. So be that on the forearms or all the way down. Wherever you are, try to feel an opening through the hips, a nice stretch through the glute area. And take a few breaths here. If you're all the way down, feel the torso expand into the thighs. If you're up on the hands, feel that lift through the crown of your head. Two more breaths. And then we'll bring our hands back towards our shoulders if we're on the mat. And we'll push up slowly. Then we're going to curl back our left toes so that we can shift forward a little bit onto our left knee. And then bring our right knee back to meet it. This time we'll bring our left knee towards our left wrist. So moving slowly. Then we curl our right toes back so we can find a little bit more length. And relax the right foot. Again, you can keep your heel under your hip or shimmy your foot towards the side if that feels okay. You can stay static and holding. You could rock from side to side if that feels good. Or even coming down onto the forearms or all the way down, torso resting on the thigh, head on the mat, fist or block. Wherever you are, taking a few breaths. Trying to feel that opening of the hip and glute area. Focus in on your breath. It tells us so much about the body. Try to have it smooth, even, and continuous the whole time. Never pushing too far. Maybe 70% always. One more nice deep breath. And then hands back towards the shoulders if we're down on the mat, and we slowly push up. Curl back the right toes, lift that knee and push out so you can bring your right knee forward and relax the foot, and then bring your left knee back. Back into child's pose for just a moment, stretching those arms out, reaching if you'd like, that nice stretch through the back here, and then relax down. Notice the difference in your hips already. the difference in your spine and your back. The goal is to release any tension you might feel. One more breath, and then we'll slowly come up. We're going to come to lay on the mats. We're going to come into a baby cobra. So there's so many ways you can do this. You could come down onto the forearms first if you'd like that little bit of challenge, or just slowly come down. But either way, we're going to come into what we call as a baby cobra. We're going to be laying on our mats with our elbows under our shoulders, and we're going to try and lift our chest up. So we're lifting through the rib cage. We're pressing out of the shoulders. The palms are pressing into the mat. Now, if you'd like, you can push the elbows up and push out of the palms a little bit more. Remember, as we're here, hips, knees, and ankles are in alignment. I want you to focus on opening up the chest area. That's our goal. One more breath, and then release. Relax down and let those elbows go out to the sides, and maybe your palms have a place for your head to rest. We want to relax through our whole body, find length through your spine. And then you can rest your head on the mat or on your palms like this. And we're going to draw our right knee towards our right elbow. So I want you to think about bringing that knee up towards the elbow, and then the inside of your foot is resting on the mat. So we're kind of looking like a figure 4 with our legs and our torso, but we're using this to help open our hips while relaxing our back. So we want to rest everything in the top portion of our bodies, and just bring that knee up as high as you can, remembering not to press too much or press too far. Two more breaths. Just enjoy the relaxation as we use gravity to assist in opening and relaxing our bodies. And then we'll draw that right leg back. Make sure we have everything in position. Hips, knees, and ankles. Turning our head towards the left side. And then left knee towards left elbow. Inside of the left foot is on the mat or the floor. And again, we're just allowing gravity to do the work. So by having our elbows open to the side, we're opening that upper back and chest area. And every inch we move closer, our knee towards our elbow, we're getting even more out of the hips and lower back. Two more nice deep breaths here. And then we'll release. Bringing those legs back in alignment. Making sure we have a nice straight spine. And we'll slowly move so that again we'll bring our elbows under our shoulders. Opening up our chest in that baby cobra one more time. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Lift the heart and chest area. Push out of the shoulders. And then release down. Bring the hands next to the ribs and lift up in the same manner, using your back. Squeeze the elbows together. Lift the heart using your lower back. And now push out With all of your strength, lift the torso and lift the hips so that we can go back into child's pose. Hips to heels, relaxing the upper body. Head on the mat or your fists. Taking a few breaths, noticing the change in your hips and spine. And then release. Slowly come up. We're going to come and lay on our sides, whichever side is going to be facing the screen. So we're going to lay down, bending our knees, stack the knees and the hips. Have your head on the side. Arm is extended out. And then we're going to take that top arm to meet it. And then we're going to open through the chest and middle back. As we open the arm, we roll onto the back of our head. And then we come back. And we'll move at our own pace, just opening up through the chest. And that middle back, we feel softening and opening. We'll do 2 more, or maybe 3, depending on that pace that you're moving. Just working on that middle back, releasing. 1 more. And then release. Come back to center first. We'll slowly change to the other side. So we'll realign our position, nice straight spine, and then completely across. So again, think about having the hips level, the knees are together, that bottom arm is extended out, and then the top one comes to meet it. And then we reach and open and roll onto the back of the head. And then back with the palms together and on the side of the head. We just open and close. Nice deep breaths here. What you don't know is that we're actually using the core. We're engaging that core as we open, building strength in our abs as well. And we'll do 1 more. And then we'll come back. We'll release by rolling in onto our backs here. Nice straight spine, knees to chest. Hug them in tight, finding that release through the lower back. And then let your feet hit the ground. Take a moment here. Find that nice straight spine. Bring the arms down the side of your body so that the hands are by the hips, and then knees to chest, and then toes to sky. Just a nice reversing of the blood flow. Press into the palms and shoulders. Just taking a break here. We do have to engage our abs a little bit. If you want to stretch, you can curl back your toes, push your heels towards the sky, and then try to have the hips, knees, and ankles in alignment. Check in on your chin. We'd like it slightly lifted to the sky so that the neck is in a neutral position. But choose whichever variation feels good, be that toes pointed or heels pushing out. We'll take 2 more breaths here, just enjoying that sensation of bringing all of the blood flow back to the heart. And then release. Bend the knees in. Hug them in nice and tight. And then let the feet hit the floor. Lift the lower back so that it comes close to the mat. Hips, knees, and ankles are in alignment. Coming into our real figure 4s here. Extend that right leg out. Lift it up high. And then ankle across to the left knee. press your right knee towards the front of the mat. You can stay here pressing into that left foot, or you can draw your left knee towards your chest. You could use a strap or your hands lacing the fingers behind the knee. Keeping your shin parallel, relaxing that foot down, or straightening that left leg. Each one will bring a different sensation to your body, so play around with the variation that you choose. Enjoy that opening through the hip and glute area. Try to relax through the upper body. Take 2 more breaths here, really choosing to focus in on the hips. And then we'll release, bending that left leg, release the hands or the strap. Left foot hits the ground, and then everyone extends the right leg out long, then down to the earth, and then back up. Let the right foot hit the mat. Extend the left leg this time. Reach it overhead, and then ankle across to the right knee. Focus in on that pressing of the knee towards that front corner of your mat. And again, staying here, pressing into that right foot, or lifting that right leg up, drawing the knee towards the chest, while still pressing that left knee to the front of the mat. Shins parallel, relaxed or extended overhead. Choose whichever variation works best for you. Might be different from side to side. We just want to listen to our bodies. Taking just a few more breaths here. Check in, pulling that knee towards your chest and press that left knee to the front of the mat. And then if that right leg is extended, we'll bend the knee. Everyone releases the arms, and then everyone really has that foot on the ground. Left leg reaches out and then down. Right leg goes to meet it. Reach the arms overhead, finding length through the front of your body. And then release. We'll lift the knees up, let the feet hit the ground, lift the lower back so it's close to the mat. Now if you want to end class in a traditional Shavasana or resting pose, feel free. Thought we'd do something a little bit different today. Bringing those feet together, let the knees hang open. Have a bit of space from your hips to your heels. You can have your palms facing the sky with quite a bit of space from the arms to the side body. You could mirror the position of the legs, bringing the arms overhead, or you could even have your hands on your belly, or one hand on the heart and one on the belly. But we're allowing our hips to open, allowing our bodies to rest. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Let your limbs feel heavy to the earth. Your knees fall a little bit closer to the ground as with each breath that we take. If at any point the hip opening is a little bit too much, we can bring the hands to the outside of the thighs and bring the knees together. Keeping the knees up if you'd like. And just take a few breaths here. And then extend the legs out long. And just take a moment, remembering that this is just as important as every other pose or stretch we did in class today. It's natural for the mind to wander. Just keep focusing back in on your breath, or just let those thoughts pass by and try to enjoy the space between them. We start to awaken our bodies by wiggling our fingers and then our toes. We roll the wrists and the ankles. Bringing the feet together, we reach the arms overhead, finding a nice stretch through the body. And then bringing those knees together or lifting them up one at a time, we'll slowly roll over. So lifting the hips, move them to one side. Roll to the other, taking a few breaths here. And then we'll slowly push up. So we use that top arm to slowly come up into a seated position. Take a moment here, move nice and slow. We'll all get there at some point. Now when we reach this position, you can stay and hold, or you can roll those shoulders. You could inhale and lift the heart and lean forward, circling. We round the back. And then the other direction. Whatever feels good. We'll take a moment here, taking 2 more breaths. And then back to that center position. Lift through the crown of your head. Let that smile wash over to carry throughout your day. With a big inhale, we'll lift those arms up. Exhaling, bringing the hands down to the heart. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone.
Namaste.